Us here at the 13th annual Lifetime Try Minneapolis presented by Toyota. This is the third leg of the Lifetime Try Pro Series. It is the first race of the Toyota Triple Crown, which is a series within a series. If you're not familiar with the Triple Crown, we use an equalizer format, and tomorrow the female pros will start first. And we just told them the time difference, that handicap. The female pros will start 10 minutes and 1 second ahead of the male pros. Now, what this is with the Toyota Triple Crown, we have 3 races. This one, New York City Tri, and our championship race in Lifetime Tri Oceanside, California. We take the lowest cumulative time of the male or female pro in those 3 races, and that person is going to win. One person, male or female, winner take all, a check from Toyota for $50,000. Last year, going into the final race, Hunter Kemper was ahead by 9 seconds, and Alicia Kay turned it on in Oceanside, and she walked away with not only the series championship, but the Triple Crown. So if you haven't seen a pro race, this is going to be one of the most exciting ones you've ever seen, even if you have. So I hope you can join us for that. Stick around at the finish line or whatever afterwards. Or if you're starting later, you can watch them run right past here on their second lap on the international distance. It'll be a lot of fun. This is also the North American Junior Triathlon Invitational and the Lifetime Tri Team Championship. So a lot going on here tomorrow. We're glad you're with us. And this stuff would not be possible without a great group of people that we call our volunteers. And I'm going to ask you to do 3 things for those volunteers. First of all, thank them whenever you get a chance. Secondly, respect them. If you find a moment tomorrow where you are what you believe to be at the most frustrated point that you have ever been in your life and you see a volunteer in front of you, simply smile and thank them and turn that energy into something positive. And if you ever want to be around a race but are not in a situation to race or just want to see it from a different perspective, whether it's a lifetime event or another one, think about volunteering. You will really enjoy it and see something from a perspective that you may not be used to. Tomorrow morning, first thing you need to think about is parking. There is plenty of parking in the residential streets surrounding the course. We do want to mention, make sure you can see wherever the bike course is that there are signs that say no parking, so please respect those, otherwise we'll just tow the vehicles away. And also in the residential areas, if you could please be respectful, not block anybody's driveway, anything like that. That'll just work out better for everybody in the long run. Things that you're going to need to bring with you. And let me ask, how many of you have never ever done a triathlon before? Wow! Wow, good for you. That is terrific. So things to bring. You have your wristband on that you got at registration, at packet pickup, I mean. What you want to do is keep that on you from now until you get home after the race tomorrow. That's your ticket into and out of transition. It says that you are part of this race. It is also your ticket into transition after the race to pick up your stuff. If you don't have that, you're going to have a hard time getting your stuff back in transition, so hang on to that. Bring your race numbers. You have a bib number you must wear on the front of you for the run. You have a helmet number for the bike. You also have a bike number for the bike. That's a 2-sided number. It needs to be visible from the left-hand side, so you might want to put that on either the post between the handlebar post and the seat post, or you can put it on the seat post as long as it's visible from the left. Make sure you have that number on your bike before you go to rack your bike in transition. You also need your swim cap, the cap that we gave you. You must wear that one. If you lose it, if it gets torn, we'll have some extras at the swim start. Tomorrow morning, we should be good with wetsuits if you like to wear them. The water temperature this morning at race time was 74 degrees. If it gets up to 78.1, that's our cutoff for being an age group competition. I don't believe it's going to get that high. We will take an official race day water temperature in the morning. If it were me, I would say bring your wetsuit, and if you're told it's too warm that you don't wear it, you'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I'd bring it with. You're also going to need an approved cycling helmet, and you will not be allowed to race without it. When I say approved, it will say inside CPSC. That's the Consumer Product Safety Commission. If it is an older helmet that has been approved, it will say either ANSI or Snell inside. However, it's that old, it's likely that that sticker has worn off, and USAT will not let you race without an approved helmet, so check that out today. Bring some sunscreen. We've had sun on and off today. A water bottle filled with water, Gatorade, or both. And if you're missing any of these items, if you need something, check out these great folks at the expo. These folks are experts in the sport of triathlon. They will not steer you in the wrong direction. We are racking bikes today until 6:30. If you want to rack your bike today, you can do so until 6:30. Otherwise, transition opens tomorrow morning at 4:30 a.m. Regardless of what time you start, we get everybody out of transition at 6:45. So I'd say get here no later than 6, even if you have racked your bike. Give yourself plenty of time. And like I said, wristband on, bike number on before you get to transition. Remember the basics. Athletes only are allowed in transition before, during, and after the race. No glass in transition. If your bike is the kind that has open ends on the handlebars, you have to get those bar end plugs in before they'll let you race. Those are very dangerous to not have them in, so make sure that you've got that. In transition, we are racking by number, by your specific race number. Lower numbers are at this end. This end would be the north end of transition, and then as you work south, the numbers get higher. And we're racking, they're set up so you rack on alternating sides of the bike rack. In transition, your gear can only be in the clear plastic bags that we have given you. No duffel bags, no backpacks, no gear bags that we cannot see through. If you're racking today, I would wait and bring those tomorrow. And for those of you that are going to rack, they're going to bring the bags, those clear bags. What we need to do, there's a couple of things that you can deal with. Make it a little easier on yourself. If you want to bring your stuff in a gear bag, if you're riding in, for instance, and then transfer it to that bag, that's fine. That clear bag is the only one that can be left in transition. If you're going to start late, start early, and you're fast and you want to get a hold of some stuff or hang on to some stuff after transition closes or before it reopens, at the south end of transition, we're going to have a Lifetime Tri-10, and it is going to say on it, bag drop. They will have additional clear plastic bags that you can put something in and leave it there and get to it as soon as you finish your race. You don't have to wait till transition opens. The other part of that is like if you're riding in and you have your stuff in a gear bag and you're going to empty it out and then you need to get that gear bag out of transition, you can roll it up and put it in that bag at the bag drop. So that's a couple of different ways to deal with this. But in transition, only the clear bags, and they must stay at your race position at your bike. I'll stop for questions in a little bit, okay? So what I need is to not have random bags sitting on the grass or along a fence line or something somewhere. We see bags that are not attached to a person or a bike. We're just going to grab them and get them out of the area, and I think you understand why that is. So if you can help us, that would be just a big help. By the way, on those gear bags, when you take them in, you don't have to get everything inside of them. If you got a bike helmet that you want to have on your head or something like that, that's fine. We just can't have any bags that we can't see through in transition. Once we get started with the race, only athletes who are participating are allowed in transition until the last bike is racked and the last athlete is out on the run course. That means you can't go in and clean up your stuff and get your stuff while there's other people still racing. Best guess, that's going to be around 10:30 tomorrow. If it's 10:15, we'll let you know. If it's 10:45, that's where we really need you to respect those volunteers. But it's safety, it's courtesy, so that's where you can use that bag drop if you got something that you need right after the race. Just remember those things, and then we'll keep transition secure until after the awards ceremony. We're guessing that's going to be earlier than 1 o'clock, but 1 o'clock at the latest. We will have bike mechanics from Gear West available in transition in the morning if you need something last minute. Also, if for any reason you need something big done, get that done today. Gear West is out here. They might be able to help you out. Also, Gear West has a couple of mechanics that are going to be roving around on the bike course. We just found that out today, so they'll be in great shape. There are portalettes inside of transition, outside of transition, and at the 2 aid stations that are on the bike course. None on the run that I'm aware of, so just plan on that. Body marking will take place in the morning. We've talked about the bikes, the helmets, relay teams. Any relay team people out here? Relays. Look at the relays. Relays, what we're going to do for you, we have a relay pen. It is in the southeast corner of transition. That's the swim in, run out area. So the biker can wait with their helmet on, but the bike, not the bike. The bike has to stay at the rack. Swimmer will come up to the pen, pass off the timing chip. Biker puts it around their ankle. Then they go in, they grab the bike, they go out. They bike the course, they come back, they rack the bike, and then they go back to the relay pen, and that's where the runner is waiting. So runner and swimmer never need to come into transition. We talked about general security in transition, that your gear or a gear bag needs to be at your spot. That's the same thing for spectators when you're outside of transition. Literally, if we see any bags, miscellaneous bags laying around, we're just going to grab them and get them out of the area. So keep them with you. And spectators, and it looks like I see a few spectators out here. Before you head out, I want you to stop down at the Janus booth. They have a cheer section where you can make a cheer sign. They've got all the materials. All you need to do is write your message on it, so Janice will take care of you with that. That was a lot of stuff on what to bring, where to show up, and I know we had at least one question out here, so let's take a few before we move on to the course. Yeah. They said, can you bring a bucket? I believe that is okay because we can see into the bucket. And as long as it just fits at your spot. So, yeah. Just getting things out of the way. All right, anything else? Yes, sir.
Can spectators bring a dog on a leash?
Can spectators bring a dog on a leash? Yes, but be really careful if they're close to the course. All right, because dogs, children, the whole thing, make sure that they're not near the course. We've got a run course that's going to go right by here on the lower path. The bike course is right out here. So just make sure they've got them well managed. I see all the signs around here that says shorten that leash. Keep them on a short leash. Yes?
I just want to be clear. We can bring a backpack into transition in the morning. We just can't leave it there?
Question is, we can bring a backpack in. We just can't leave it there. That is correct. And if you want to leave anything, it might be simpler to use the clear bag, but the backpack has to come out and it can go to the bag drop. One more question, then we're going to move on. Yes? Question is, how late can you rack your bike in the morning? You need to be out of transition at 6:45. I would say if you get here later than 6, you're running late. That'd be the way I'd call it. Regardless of what time you start, we can't let people compete in transition while other people are in there racking their bike. So 6:45, ready or not, everybody's out. So that's why I say get here no later than 6. Is this your first triathlon? People who have their worst race are those that say, oh, I don't start till late, I'm going to get there late, and then you're not set up, and we're saying, you're out of here. You go. I don't care if you're ready or not. And because we have 2,000 people waiting to start the race. So 6 o'clock, that's your goal to get here. 6:45, you're out. Okay? Question is, in the drop-off bag, can you have a bag that you can't see through? Yeah, they're going to look in it, they're going to roll it up tight, they're going to put it in there. They're going to inspect the inside of it, absolutely. This is going to be our last question, then I'll bring people up afterwards, because otherwise we're going to hang everybody up on these little things. Towels, size limit on towels. It should be about 18 by 24. That's your space. If you want to roll it up and make it smaller than that, that's fine. But your space fits between your bike and the bike next to you. If it's bigger than that, you're in somebody else's space. By the way, a question came up earlier. What about balloons? What about flags? All that stuff. If even the slightest breeze blows it into somebody else's space, we're going to cut it down. So count racks, count down, count over. Afterwards, if anybody has additional questions, come up and see me. But in the interest of being respectful to everybody, I want to keep moving here. In the water warm-ups will be available for everybody. It's a little different this year if you've done the race before. Because we've had to adjust the swim course down. So the warm-ups will be between the swim start and the swim finish. I'll let you know when you can get in, when the lifeguards say it's okay. At 6:35, we're probably going to ask everybody to get out while we do our opening ceremony, national anthem, and get the pros started. If you start later, you'll be able to get back in there and warm up. But we ask that you'll be between the start and finish. Don't go more than 15, 20 yards out so that our lifeguards don't have to keep an eye on you while they're trying to keep an eye on everybody in the race. This will be a mass start for our pros, for our elite females and males, for our collegiates, and for our PC Open. It will be a beach start. So for the mass starts, they will be lined up in a line, and they will all run in the water when the horn goes. For all of our age groups and relays, it will be a time trial start. Most races are starting to move that direction because it's so much safer. So what we will do is send 2 or 3 people off every 3 seconds. And it will be literally, our starter will be on the beach and hold you up and then say go. Bring the next group and go. With time trial starts, I have seen time trial starts get 15 minutes ahead. I've seen them get 10 minutes behind. What that means is you need to be staged on the beach 20 minutes before your wave is ready to go. Because if you miss your wave, you will be pulled out of the age group awards, age group competition. So Be lined up 20 minutes before your wave is ready to go. We'll have people down there helping organize you. You'll line up from the north and feed down the same way you had before. It's just going to be a little bit further down, and then we'll get you into the water. Cap colors are wave specific, but they do repeat. So know your wave number. Otherwise, you might be ending up going twice as far or half as far as you signed up for if you just go to everybody else with the same cap. So cap colors repeat. You want to be aware of that. We talked about wetsuits being ready. There'll be additional swim caps by the swim start if yours tears or something like that. Swim finish, we will have a special needs table. That will be in case you need eyeglasses or an asthma inhaler or something like that to get from the swim finish to the transition area. With the special needs table, it is your responsibility to put things on that table. And before you go down to line up for your swim, what I would do is put it in a clear plastic bag, a Ziploc bag, write your name on one side, your bib number on the other. That way, I mean, I've been at races where somebody got out of the water, they grabbed the first pair of eyeglasses they saw, and then we had 2 people on the bike course with the wrong prescription. So make sure you can identify it in a way that you know it is yours. We will not have wetsuit strippers. The buoys are out there. The large turn buoys are out there. The international turn buoys are yellow. The sprint turn buoys are orange. They will all be off your right shoulder. This is the international course. Here's my sprint course. It's the same thing, only smaller. So you will get into the water, keeping all the buoys off your right shoulder, go out, across, and back in. Same thing with the international. It's just a bigger loop all the way around and back in. And we will not, I believe I said I will not have wetsuit strippers. There will be yellow spotting buoys in between. Swim finish timing is at the water's edge. Here's something to be aware of. When you get out of the water, we've also changed the swim finish. You're going to run up and around the outside of the little restaurant, bathhouse over there, and up to the lower path, and then take a left. You're going to go down a little ways and then take a right into transition. That lower path is also the beginning of our second lap for the international distance. So we're going to have people coming out of the swim and taking a left. There'll be a cone line down the middle, and we're going to have athletes on the right of them running straight ahead. Cones are only going to go about 20 yards so that everybody can get straightened out, and then you are going to just intermingle so that the runners can get to the left, the swimmers can get to the right, the swimmers will turn into transition, the runners will go straight ahead. Make sense to everybody? Just be aware, it's simple enough. I just wanted to explain it to you so you knew what it was when you saw it. And guards will be around the entire course. If you get in a bind, roll on your back, put a hand up in the air, let them know. They'll come over to you. If you need to grab onto a boat and catch your breath for a second, that's okay. There's 2 caveats to that. One, you may not try and bribe that person in the boat to move you ahead. The other is that if our guards and our officials feel like you're doing a heck of a lot more hanging on than you are making forward progress, they're liable to suggest to you in very strong terms that tomorrow's not your day, that you need to just come on out and try it again some other time. I think that's all I had on the swim. So before we move on to the bike, let me see if there's any swim-related questions. We all good? All right. On the bike, as I said, you may not ride your bike in transition at any time, so you can get your helmet snapped in place. You're going to come up to the northwest corner of transition. That is the bike out. You will go out and take a hard left. And that will put you on the bike course, and right out there will be your mount line also. It is outside of transition. They'll tell you where you can mount your bike, and that is the spot. Now, before we go out on the bike course, let's talk about some of the USAT rules that are rules of fair play. Coincidentally, if you follow them, it also makes it a lot safer out there. So on the bike course, ride right, pass left, always. Ride on the right, pass on the left. This is a non-drafting race. That means you need to stay 3 bike lengths back from the person in front of you. In reality, what that means for a lot of people is that if something bad happens to the person in front of you, you have time to react before it happens to you. Literally, when I've seen somebody get hurt in a triathlon, it's because one person is right on somebody else's tail. First person spins, slows down, goes down. Second person cannot avoid them. So ride right, pass left, 3 bike lengths back from the person in front of you. If you go to pass somebody, you have 15 seconds to complete the pass. If you can't do it in 15, don't try, because once the decision is made, that drafting zone is a one-way street. Once you go into it, you may not back out. That's a penalty. If you're going to pass somebody, holler out to them. I'm on your left. I'm passing on your left. That way they know you're coming around. If you are the person being passed, The moment the other competitor's front wheel breaks the forward plane of your front wheel, it is then your responsibility to drop back out of the drafting zone and let them complete the pass. All right, that's not the time to show them what you got. Back off, let them complete the pass, then you can go. In every race that I announce with A troopers, there are about a half a dozen people who think that they are the fastest biker on the course, so they're just going to sit in that left-hand lane and pass everybody they come upon. Don't do it. That's a position violation, it's blocking, it's frustrating, it's dangerous. So when you pass someone, if there is room before the next person's drafting zone, even if you can see them up there, you need to pull back over to the right. That's the right way to do it, that's the safe way to do it. And besides, it will give one of the other 6 fastest bikers in the group a chance to pass you. So ride right, pass left. Remember those rules. We'll all be in great shape out there. No headphones out there. No earbuds, no listening device of any kind. You need to have your head in the game. Talk to each other. Make sure that you're all good. We will have 2 aid stations out there on the bike course for the international, 1 for the sprint. They will be set up. We've asked them to set them up this way. Bottle toss, water, Gatorade, water, bottle toss. So that's the way they'll be set up. First thing you do is hit that first bottle toss, get rid of your bottle, then you've got an open cage to grab one. Second bottle toss is basically for emergency purposes. There'll also be a porta potty at each of those, or 2. We'll show you where they are when we talk about the course. Roads are mostly closed. Still keep your head up. We're going through some neighborhoods. There's a couple of spots where we're sharing them with cars. We'll talk about that in a second. But always keep your head up. We've got plenty of road out there, but know what's going on. On the bike course, I'm just going to use the international, and then sprinters will hold you in the right spot before you make your turn in. So you're going to come out of here, make a hard left. And let me find my spot here. You're going up, you're crossing Cedar, continuing around. Crossing Cedar a second time. Now, let me mention, because of the high water on a couple of spots on the run course, there are 2 spots still as of this afternoon. Yesterday afternoon there was only 1 spot. This afternoon there's still 2, where we are going to take runners off of the running path onto the roadway. One is less than 0.2 of a mile, the other is about 100 yards. In those spots, you'll be coned away from the runners coned away from the bikers, and you're all going the same, all the bikers and runners are all going the same direction. So it shouldn't be an issue, just going to bring it up. We'll hit that a little bit more when we get to the run course. You're following around, you're going to get to 50th, you take a right, and then that's uphill, and then a fast left on Woodlawn, and another right on Minnehaha, and that is going to take you out. As you head out, you have some traffic bays on some of the roads. You don't need to drift over there. Just stay in the car lane, stay to your right. Some spots you have one-way traffic because we're split by a big median. Other spots you have 2-way bike traffic. As you're coming down Minnehaha, before you get to about Hiawatha, there are some train tracks that cross. They are rough. Our bike crews, and by the way, if you raced with us last year, our bike crews are the same people that got things going after that massive storm to make sure we had a race last year. So they're going to do the best they can to smooth them out, but they're going to be marked, they're going to be rough. Then you're going to go through a roundabout and just follow right on along. It is going to just lead you right into West River Parkway. On West River Parkway, we still have that whole road as you are riding right. Do not get too close to the curb. Where the concrete of the curb and the asphalt of the road meet, there are some little areas that are torn up, so just stay far enough on that you don't hit those. Following all the way up, about the time you get to Franklin, you got a hard left up the ramp and then a hard right to come over Franklin Avenue Bridge. We have half that bridge. Cars have the other half, so we'll be coned apart from them. As you turn on that bridge, you're going to be in the right-hand lane anyway. That's where you want to be. Come across the bridge. Make a right on East River Parkway, you hit your first aid station. Remember, bottle toss, water, Gatorade, water, bottle toss. Following back down, and if you drive it or if you look up at any signs there, some of them after a while say Mississippi Avenue, but you're in the right spot. Continue to follow around. If you drive it today, if you're not familiar with it, there's a little loop out here that turns you back and around, and you're going to think I can't possibly be going the right way, but you are. It's just this little jut out here. Follow down East River Parkway, and then you're going to go under the Ford Parkway Bridge. Right after you get on the bridge, you take a hard left going up the ramp. You're up the ramp, you take another hard left, and you're going across the bridge. Same thing on Ford Parkway. We have about half, cars have the other half. Stay to the right in your lane. This time the tendency is going to be to hug the left because that's the way you've come around, but stay to the right in your lane. You're coming across the bridge, and you're going to make a hard left on 46th. Everybody knows what 46th is? That is downhill. It goes from rough asphalt to brick. At the bottom, and then back to asphalt, and at the bottom of it is a hard right turn. That increases the degree of difficulty. As you're going out, stay nice and wide there because you're turning into two-way bike traffic. So just be very cautious on the way out and on the way back as you cross 46th. You can make it if you just slow down. You'll see it happening. It works every year. As long as you're aware of it, you will deal with it. Coming back, you go around the roundabout. Once you get past the roundabout, railroad tracks again. Following all the way back down Minnehaha to Cedar Avenue. As you approach Cedar Avenue, you're going to see some cones in the middle and some signage. Cones are, the signage will be long course, straight ahead, short course, left. So anybody doing the sprint, you're the short course, you're going to get to the left of those cones, make a left on Cedar Avenue. Sit tight right there. Once you cross Cedar, International, you have two-way bike traffic all the way until you get to the underpass at 35. You're going to make a hard right on 50th and a hard left. That'll get you back onto Minnehaha. This is way windier than it looks on this map. We've got separated traffic except right back here, right before we make that right on Lake Harriet. It is two-way traffic there for about a block. So we'll talk about that when you make the loop around Lake Harriet. If you drove it yesterday, if you drove it earlier today, there was some construction there. There were some road closed signs. Went through it yesterday afternoon. The construction was actually leaving it better than they had found it. They blacktopped it. The road closed signs, at that time they were cleaning it up, and we actually were able to drive through it, and they said they'd all have it picked up probably by about this time today. But just in case you were concerned about it, we checked that out. All these turns up through here and around Lake Harriet, very tight turns. Take it easy. As you're finishing your loop around Lake Harriet and making this right, that's where we've got two-way bike traffic again on the same road, so don't make a wide turn. Stay to the right. Then you get split again. International, here's your second aid station, same setup. Following along, and you are split until you get to that underpass at 35, and now you've got two-way bike traffic again all the way back to Cedar. And when you get to Cedar, International distance, you're taking a hard right. Now think about this. We've got sprinters taking a hard left, International taking a hard right. You'll be coned apart down the middle. Sprinters, as you get up to speed, move back over, merge into the right with the International athletes. Make sense to everybody? And as you're coming back down here at the last turn before you come back towards transition, that is almost a 180. That is a really sharp turn. So slow it down, come back. You're coming back this way, coming back north, and then you're going to get to the dismount line, go into transition just the other side of the gate where you went out, rack your bike at the exact same spot on the bike rack. If you break down out there, first thing to do, get off the side of the road. If you can get your bike fixed, or we can get the folks from Gear West out to you and you can get going again, that's great. If that's not the case, if you're close enough, you can walk or jog with your bike back in. You can just make sure you're off to the side so you're not impeding anybody else's progress. If that's not the case, if the bike is just having a bad day and you can't get back here with it, we do have a SAG vehicle that will be circling the course. They'll pick you up. If that happens, or if at any point during this race you pull out, you'll be considered DNF, did not finish. What we need to do then is get your timing chip back from you right away. That's not only a timing device, it's a way that we keep track of you. We know how many people got in the water. We need the numbers to match up coming out. We know how many people went out on the bike. Same thing, we got to know. So if you pull out, get us that timing chip back right away, all right? There will be mile markers on the bike at 5, 10, 15, and 20. Sprinters, you will not see 15 because 15 for you is transition. So International, you'll see 15 and 20, so you'll be able to see those. The big things, ride right, pass left, talk to each other, watch the split points and the merges, and we'll be in good shape. Questions on the bike before I move on to the run? Yes? Since you're riding right, they would have to be on your right. Otherwise, you're going to have just a mess out there. Anything else? Yes? Lost and found. You got ahead of me in the script. It is the information tent, which will be right out here. Right next to Gear West is going to be lost and found. That's where it'll be. Have you lost something already? Car keys by chance? Huh? At the last try. I'm not sure we can have it shipped here, but we'll do our best, all right? All right, anything else on the bike? All right, let's talk about the run and a couple of adjustments that we made on the run. You're going to come out of the run, same area that you ran in from the swim, that is the southeast corner, get down to the lower path. Coming out of the run, you've got an aid station, water, Gatorade, and then you're going to follow the path around. Let me see if I can spot it. We have a little area in here on Cedar Avenue that's new because we had to adjust it because the run out used to be at this end of transition and it's at the other end, so the course would have been shorter. So when you get to Cedar Avenue, you're going to take a hard left, go down Cedar. You're going to see a sign down there that is, at this point, it is 0.23 miles, this little jut that you do that says first lap turnaround. So you're going to go down there, turn around, come back out, and at the corner of Cedar and Nokomis Parkway, that's the first spot where we are going to not get you onto the path because it is underwater right there and a little ways down, but we're going to put you onto the road, and that's where you're going to be coned away from the bikers. Less than 0.2 of a mile, there's a little cut in, we can get you on the path. You're going to follow, and by the way, right in there is your next aid station. It's about mile 1.5. That's water, Gatorade, and a cliff shot zone. Then you're going to follow on up to just about the next aid station. We're going to run you through the grass for about 25 yards, about 100 yards on the pavement, on the street, and then back through the grass to get back on the path, and there's a second aid station there. Following around, now this is your decision point. It is right back here, just about where the wooden bridge is. We're either going to, sprinters, you hold right there, because from that point you're going to take a right and go into the finish line. International athletes, you're going to be moved left onto the lower path. Going to run right past here. For spectators, this is great. People watching the pros, this is great. You're going to run right between transition and the swim start on the lower path. When you get to the swim finish, I think we talked about this before. We're going to have swimmers coming up, taking a left, runners going straight, taking a right, the cones in the middle. Then you're going to intermingle, and if you're going to the transition for the first time, follow the transition sign to the right. If you're starting your second lap on the International, you just go straight ahead. Follow that around, exact same thing, except this time when you go up Cedar Avenue, International athletes, you are looking for second lap turnaround, because that total distance in there is only 0.12 miles. A lot of math has gone into this to make sure we had a 5K and a 10K, and if we have more or less area that we need to get you on the roadway, anything that we have to do, they GPSed it this afternoon, anything you have to do to get out and back, we will take off of this turnaround so that you still do either the 5K or the 10K the way it was written. That's the way they're going to work it. And then you will follow around. This time, you're going to join the sprinters on your second loop, take a right, and go to the finish line chute, which is right straight down the way here. Questions on the run before I wrap things up? Yes, sir.
Is the second lap turnaround closer or further out?
Second lap turnaround on Cedar Avenue, is that the one? It is closer. First turnaround, at this point, the first turnaround and back on Cedar is a total of 0.23 miles. Second one is a total of 0.12 miles. So the second one should be closer. Anything else on the run? A couple little things that I do want to mention to you. Mile markers every mile on the run at 1, 2, and 3. So international athletes, you're going to have to do math the second time around. We talked about the cliff shot zone, the aid stations. There will be a lap mat out there for the international distance. We don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. It could be hot, could be cold, could be humid. Hydrate. Hydrate today. Water, Gatorade, or the electrolytes of your choice. Make sure you've got plenty. Stick around after the race. Awards ceremony is scheduled for 11:30. I think we're going to be ahead of that. My best guess, if we can get enough people in to fill the age groups, is it'll be closer to 11. We'll make announcements on that. Remember, transitional remains secure until the last athlete is off the bike and out on the run course. And then we'll keep it locked down for just athletes to go in there. We won't start breaking it down until either after the awards ceremony or 1 o'clock, whichever comes later. We also have great parks and recreation in Minneapolis, St. Paul. So I ask that on the course and in this area, if you can leave it cleaner than you found it, just pick up after yourself. that would just be a great help to everybody. We appreciate it. Also want to mention, this is something new this year that's gotten the attention of a lot of people. Transamerica has started, because you all have spent some money on your tri-bikes, they've started something called Big Ring Bike Insurance. You can find it at bigringinsurance.com, but they're here to talk about it. Covers bikes when maybe your homeowners or renters insurance won't. I think it's really affordable. If you've spent some money on a tri-bike and you travel to races, it's worth thinking about. So let me just say from everybody at Lifetime, Transamerica, Janus, Toyota, all of our sponsors, have a great race. Have a safe race. I'll be in transition at 4:30 tomorrow morning to answer any other questions, or you can come up and see me now. I know I cut a couple people short, so come up and see me. Otherwise, we'll see you all bright and early in the morning.